Hey everyone, welcome to their top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 favorite Survivor winners. Yes, about a month ago I did my ranking of all the seasons of Survivor, and I thought I'd do more Survivor themed videos. Yes, I did Big Brother themed, now I'm back to the Survivor shit, and yes, I'm talking about the winners. I'm not doing my favorite players, that's for another top 10 list. I'm going to be doing another top 10 list of my top 10 favorite Survivor players who haven't won yet, but these are my top 10 favorite Survivor winners. So yeah, just a personal opinion, and I have someone else to help me with this top 10 list. Yes, from Samuel One World Reviews, he's here to join me for this top 10 list. Introduce yourself, Samuel.
Hello everybody, my name is Sam World. I'm from the channel Sam One Reviews. I basically do a lot of stuff that Jay does on the channel, like movie stuff and TV stuff. I also do some top 10 lists as well. And thank you, Jay, for letting me be on this list talk about Survivor, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Alright, how it's going to begin, just like every top 10 list. My guest will go first. He'll do his honorable mentions. I'll do my honorable mentions. We'll go 10, 10, 10. You know how it goes. So, Sammy, start off with your honorable mentions.
Yep, here are my honorable mentions. And they are Richard Hatch from Survivor Borneo, Tina Winston from Survivor Australia, Ethan Zahn from Survivor Africa, Persephia from Marquesas, Amber from All Stars, Tom Winston from Survivor Palau, Aris from Survivor Exile Island, Yul from Survivor Cook Islands, Earl from Survivor Fiji, Todd from Survivor China, Bob from Survivor Gabon, Natalie from Survivor Samoa, Fabio from Survivor Nicaragua, Kim from Survivor One World, John Cochran from Survivor Kimoa, Natalie from Survivor San Juan del Sur, and lastly, Sarah from Survivor Game Changers.
Wow, that's a lot of honorable mentions. I said a few, goddammit, but I'm just kidding. There's a lot of those that are on my list. One of them's my number one. Spoilers, but anyways, great honorable mentions. Let's get to mine. Honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Bob from Gabon, Tyson from Blood vs. Water, Ben from Heroes, Hustlers, and Healers, Boston Rob from Redemption Island, Natalie from San Juan del Sur, Todd from China, and Tina from Australian Outback. Just gonna be the top 10 list, but Sammy, number 10.
Yeah, my number 10 is actually one of your honorable mentions, and that is Tyson from Survivor Blood vs. Water. Now this is kind of interesting because for the first two seasons he was on Survivor, I didn't like Tyson at all. I didn't like him from Hunger Games or Heroes vs. Villains. I didn't like him that much, but I really liked him when he did first Water. Still, he was learning from his mistakes. He actually played the best game. I didn't really like him much when he began vs. Water, but after we watched it, he's a pretty cool winner. I actually really liked him. He played a good game to him. He went down, he really fought hard, he played the best game, he's probably the obvious winner in the end anyway, but that's probably why he's low on this list, but he's still a great winner. This is probably the best I've probably seen Tyson, even though I wasn't really huge on him and Tocantins, or his villains, especially that movie made his villains, but Tyson is still a great winner. He honestly deserves to win Blood vs. Water in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked Tyson a lot. He couldn't be my top 10 list. He was awful in Token Chins and Heroes vs. Villains. My god, he was a moron, but he was great in Blood vs. Water. But yeah, he couldn't make my top 10, but my number 10 was on your honorable mentions. It's Tom from Survivor Palau. I love this winner. He's a very old guy, he's an old firefighter, and he has one of the records for winning the most immunity challenges. He had the greatest alliance. He had one guy throw out of the final immunity challenge for him to get to the final two, and he went to the final two with a girl that he easily beat. She only got one vote because she was a very despicable player, so he easily won the million. He would have had more of a challenge if he brought Ian, but Ian, again, hopped out of the competition. He also did the longest final immunity competition. It lasted almost 11 hours. Really cool. And just Tom was just a likable guy. He's such a cool dude. I love the asshole players, don't get me wrong. I love the cocky, arrogant players, but Tom was a very likable hero. He won challenges, had great alliances, and he was the rightful person to win Palau. I liked Stephanie as well, but she didn't have the numbers. Tom did, and that's why he's one of my favorites.
Great, it was hard to leave Tom, because Tom is a great winner, definitely not 9. It was hard to leave my list, but he's great. Anyway, coming in number 9 is another one y'all mentioned, that is Ben from Survivor Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. Now, I really like Ben, honestly. I actually kind of wanted to win to a certain point in the game. He really was good at playing a great game, finding idols, relationships, and all that, and winning challenges, and he could have gotten voted out wasn't for that damn Final Four, which I know challenge in the end, which a lot of people think is like unfair, but I thought it was actually an interesting addition, honestly, and Ben still deserved to win, honestly. I think my opinion at that point, he honestly deserved to win. He played the best game again. He found like 3 idols in 3 episodes. That's kind of crazy, honestly, when you think about it. And then he's a very smart player. He has a great story to him. It's a great personality to him that makes you really. He's just like him, he's just like a guy. Someone you can't not like, even though he definitely has his odd moments. He's still a great guy, and in my opinion, he deserved to win that season.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ben Baum. Woo. The Ben Baum, loved Ben. Great player. My number 9 is JT from Token Chins. JT is a very likable winner. Again, he didn't play very well in Heroes vs. Villains because never trust the villain Russell, but in Token Chins, he was a great player. Again, he had 3 different alliances and betrayed all 3 of those alliances with him and Stephen Fishback. And again, it was right for him to bring Stephen Fishback to the end because he swiped the votes from the jury. Again, this just shows you that if you have a likable personality and you don't piss off the jury too much like Fishback did, you can rightfully win the $1 million, but he was also a very strong competitor. Before the merge happened, he carried his entire tribe. They won the immunity, all the challenges because JT was such a great player. Fuck, he lost a tooth. But, he was a great player. He's a really cool hillbilly player that I love. And yeah, just one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's you mentioned JT because JT's my number 8. yeah. You pretty much explained that. JT is just a likable guy. He definitely wasn't great here with his villains, but like you said, never just Russell, and was very disappointed he didn't make it far. He didn't game changers. But Token Chins' body was shine. I mean, he won being challenged, his great relationship. He's a very likable person. He didn't piss off Drew too much. He won by unanimous votes. He didn't take any votes at all in any plays. He's pretty much a likable guy, someone you cannot love. He's played good games, about relationships and all that. He's someone you can't help but not love.
He's a lovable guy. I love JT. Alright, number 8 for me is someone that was on your honorable mentions. It's the lovable nerd John Cogran from Caramel and Fans vs. Favorites Part 2. I like John Cogran because he completely took control of the game. This scrawny little nerd took control of everyone's fate in the game. The only person that was against him was Eddie, Malcolm, and Reynolds, but they got booted out pretty quickly. Malcolm was a better player, but Malcolm played his idols too quickly. John Cogran, though, the way he manipulated his players, he manipulated everybody, and he got himself to the final 3, and he brought the best players to beat, because he brought Dawn, who cried all the time, and Sherry, who did nothing. So he literally is the best player. And he won 2 immunity challenges. That skinny little guy won immunity challenges. And it was actually quite enjoyable watching him win, because I'm like, you know what, skinny, runty little people can win Survivor and still be very competitive players. And yeah, I just love John Cogran.
You know, you're there, man. John Cogran's bills. It was tough to leave him on my list, but yeah, I still love John Cogran. Anyways, coming in number 7 for me is Chris Daughtry from Survivor Venom 1-2. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Venom 1-2, but Chris Daughtry definitely is the best thing about this season. I mean, at some point, he was the last man standing, and he couldn't get better. He couldn't eliminate, but he ended up fighting through. He ended up not only winning challenges, but also relationship with these females that are mating, and he ends up making it to the end and winning. That's honestly pretty impressive. Not that Chris is a very likable guy. He definitely kind of was in the game, but he definitely grew later on. He definitely some of the best growth in any Survivor player ever, and he definitely deserved to win out anybody's game. He fought hard, he played hard, hard and all that. He had the best heart, had the best energy to him. Chris is a great guy all around. He's a very likable winner, and he deserved to win that season.
Yeah, I did have him on my list. He is a good winner and stuff. I think I just forgot about him because I just don't like that season as well, but I'm glad he won, though. He was the best player of that season. Anyways, number 7. Number 7 for me is one of the best players, one of the best female winners, and that's Sarah from Game Changers. I love Sarah. I love this season because of Sarah. She played in Kagion. She was good, but then she went toe-to-toe with the best player, and never go toe-to-toe with the best player. I'll get to him later, but Sarah in Game Changers, again, she controlled the game. She had all different alliances, and she put every single member on that jury and stuff, and I love that Game Changers didn't have a bitter jury. Like, Michaela and Zeke really vouched for her. They're like, yeah, she controlled everyone's fate in the game. There's one girl, she gave her advantage, and she voted her out and took her advantage. I'm like, that's just a great player. There was even an advantage under a bench where Michaela was sitting on. Michaela didn't see it, but Sarah did, and she took that advantage from her. she didn't need to find idols. She just kept taking all these advantages from other players and stuff. She was an easy person to root for because she was just such a great manipulator. She's an undercover cop, so you can tell that she lies and cheats and steals for a living and stuff. And yeah, I loved her as a winner. And some people were rooting for Brad Culpepper, but he was a great physical player. But she was a great strategy, and that's the game of Survivor: is strategy and outwitting, outthinking your players. And she did it the best, and that's why she's my favorite. One of my favorites.
I can argue that. I mean, I really honestly, I also like Game Changers, honestly, but I cannot say it was Green one. I cannot dang it. She wasn't one I mentioned. She was actually the closest to make this list, but unfortunately she didn't. And speaking of memory season, coming in number 6, we got one I wasn't huge on first, but then grew to like later on after we watched season. That is Tony from Survivor Kakiana. He definitely is one of the best players, one of the best villains out there. It's basically what Russell Hands honestly should have been, in my opinion. Like, I'm not a huge on Russell Hands, honestly, but Tony's basically where he should have been. He did what played again that's kind of similar to Russell Hands in terms of blindsiding people, manipulating people, and being villainous, but you can tell he actually does at least care about them. He kind of up at some points, and he had kind of great strategy too. I mean, someone that's kind of likable at times, honestly. He was a fun guy to root for. He had some great moments in the season, and it was so disappointing when he got voted out. He was the second one voted out Game Changers. Like, I was actually excited when he was beyond Game Changers, but he didn't give. I'm sorry, I'm gonna try, but yeah, Tony, great winner, likable person, great villain, one of the best villains out there in Survivor. In my opinion, he definitely should win. And Will.
Yeah, that's funny is that's my number 6 too. Tony from Kagion. Yep, that's my number 6 too. I love devious players, and I love players who take just sheer excitement out of just manipulating people. That's what Tony did. He built the Spy Shack. The Spy Shack was great. I love the Spy Shack. He controlled a lot of people's fates, and again, he made Cass basically betray her whole alliance, and he got hit on his side, and he almost broadcasted the very ending, but stupidly Wu brought Tony to the end and lost, obviously. Really dumb, but that's just shows you how much control Tony had over Wu. Like, he basically, what Spencer said to him in his jury speeches is, "You're Tony's dog." Basically, he was the puppet master, and you basically followed every word he said. You brought him to the ending. He didn't win the Final Media Challenge, but you still brought him to the end. And look at that, he's going to sweep the votes because he's the best player. He's the best strategist. He found 3 idols. I don't think he played them all properly, but he still found them. But yeah. Yeah, he's a great cocky player, but I love him. He could have been a little bit better in Game Changers. I think he ran his mouth a little too much, but in Kakion, he's one of the best.
We're more than now in the top 5, and kind of number 5, I know this probably not on your list, but I just love this guy, and that's Adam from Survivor Millions vs. Gen X. I love Adam. It's also supposed I was honestly, he and David with the 2 people I was honestly rooting for getting it. I cannot agree that I really want David to win more. I love David that season. He was so awesome, but I cannot that for me at least Adam deserved to win. His story is definitely great and all that, and he played the game for his mom, and they were playing supposed to compete on Blood vs. Water, or the same with their sword season, but apparently her mom was diagnosed or something. I forget what it was. But anyway, but you can tell he was trying. The moment we found his idol and he was actually crying was actually pretty touching, honestly. He was a great player. He definitely had some dumb moves and some moments, but I can't not that he was again a great player. He was very smart when he needed to be. He built relationships with everybody. When he won challenges, he did what he needed to do. And I think in my opinion, if it wasn't for David, he was the person that deserved to win in the finale and won Nama's vote, so that's something.
Yeah, I do not have him on my list because I wanted David to win that season. He is coming back for not this season of Survivor coming up, but the next one. Yeah, with Kelly Wentworth and stuff. So I'm excited for that. I also loved Jay that season too. Not because my name's Jay is too, but he has almost a very great personality. But anyways, top 5. Number 5 is the very first winner of any Survivor, Richard Hatch, Survivor Borneo. Why did this idiot not do his taxes? I don't know, but still, I digress about that. He was a great player. He invented the alliance strategy in Survivor. He's the first person to do the alliance. The tribe that you came with during the merge, align with them, take out the other tribe. Basically, that's everyone's strategy in Survivor, and the only reason that's everyone's strategy is because Richard Hatch invented that strategy. And the fact that he hopped out of the final immunity challenge was fucking genius. It was a great move because either way, whoever person goes on the jury, he's got their vote because he didn't put them on the jury. The other person put them on the jury. So like that's a very good strategy. And honestly, he deserved to win. Kelly Wiggles was an okay player. She was a very strong player, but Richard was a very smart, very cunning player. He was a very villainous player. He played in All-Stars. He was not that great, but still, in the very first season, he was a great player. And honestly, he's the most classic winner. He's the first winner. It's Richard Hatch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no one unfortunately had it on the list, but I can't nominate everything you've said, honestly. But anyways, coming in number 4 for me is Jermaine from Survivor Carol Moore Second Chance. Second Chance is definitely one of my favorite seasons of Survivor, and Jimmy's probably one of the main reasons why I loved him on this show, and I was fortunate when we got blindsided. I was like, oh no, Jeremy. And I was happy when it finally came back and definitely played a great game. It was very strategic, very smart, built relationships with everybody. Didn't try to rub it but the wrong way. He was trying to fight for his family, especially for his wife, and the loved one moment when I was like, there's a girl, there's a boy, like that's one of the most emotional moments I've seen in any season of Survivor. Like the little one's always emotional, and that was definitely one of the best ones in my opinion. But anyway, Jeremy was smart. He was one of the most likable winners out there. He's someone you just cannot like, honestly, because he's just so likable. He's so funny, so charming, so lovable. He definitely 100% deserved to win his season with a unanimous vote. Like, he really deserved it. He played the best game, played very smart, very interesting, he was undercover light. He's a very smart, likable, and just a great player. Definitely not one of the best winners, but one of the best players, period.
He's close. He's on my list. He's really low on my list. But yes, I agree. He's one of the best players. Alright, number 4 for me is one of the most powerhouse female players to ever play the game. That is Poverty for Survivor Micronesia Fans vs. Favorites. Poverty is severely attractive, but I digress. Very attractive female, that girl. She was okay in Cook Islands, but 2 other people ran that season, Ozzy and Yule. She had no chance against them too, and she was just basically a flirt. But in Micronesia, she was such a good player. She had this tight female alliance with Sari and Amanda, and basically she took out all the big, strong guys. She took out Eric, the ice cream scooper. He gave up his own fucking necklace. What an idiot. What a dumbass. And they voted Ozzy out when he had an idol in his pocket, and James got voted out. All the big, strong guys got voted out and put on the jury, thanks to Poverty and her Flower Power Alliance, and she managed to win. I thought Amanda was gonna beat her, but Poverty managed to win, even though she backstabbed almost every single member of the jury. She managed to do it because she was such a great manipulator, very good strategist. She was also a really good physical threat. She really showed that more in Heroes vs. Villains. She won a lot of competitions, but she was a phenomenal player, and she's easily my favorite female player. Plus, she's hot.
That's true. You definitely seem to have a Poverty later on my list. Just letting you know, she's definitely on my list. She'll be a little bit, but it's coming number 3 is Boston Rob from Redemption Island. Now, in my opinion, Boston Rob's probably my favorite final contestant of all time. And 3 is not number 1 on this list because honestly, I'm not really the hugest fan of Redemption Island. I mean, he definitely deserved to win that season, but that's because most of everybody's honestly a freaking idiot. Because they pretty much follow Boston Rob. It's kind of like similar to some people did in Paul maybe in 19, where they kind of follow Paul and they let him be the end all that. The only difference that Paul didn't win that season, surprisingly. But this season, he definitely deserved to win. I was excited as hell when he finally won the game. I was like, yeah, Boston Rob probably won. I still think he should have won at All-Stars, honestly, in my opinion. I like Amber on, I like Amber on, and she was one of my mentions, but I still think Boston Rob should have won that season, honestly. But yeah, he's my favorite fighter of all time. He's very villainous, manipulative, but he's just one that's so likable and charming. I just can't help but love the guy. He has great personality and charm to him, and he has a lot of great moments to him. He definitely was the best in Micronesia and Heroes vs. Villains, but All-Stars and especially in Dutch Island definitely trying the most. Even though I wasn't the hugest fan of Dutch Island, that's definitely one on the weaker ends of the 5 seasons. Boston Rob definitely made that season as watchable as it was. He's done most everybody's previous, but that's, you know what I'm saying. Boston Rob, he's amazing, he's awesome. He's probably my favorite of all time. He's not number 1 because, again, everyone was in that season, but more time on the winner aspect, but I cannot, he's great, and that's why he's on this list.
Number 11 for me, really. Honestly, if Boston Rob won All-Stars, he'd be like number 2. Really. He would be like one of the best players. He's a great player. Yeah. Number 3 is is Jeremy from Cambodia Second Chance. Jeremy is a great player. Just like Sam said, he's a phenomenal player. He's super likable. He found 2 idols, played them perfectly. When him and Kelly both played their idols at the same time, that tribal council in the final 6, it basically all their votes got canceled out, and then Kimmy had to go home. That was a great tribal council. Jeremy is he's a lovable guy. When you're in his alliance, he will vouch for you, he will take you to the end. But you backstab him, he will screw you over. And that's just how much of a deadly player he is. He was great in San Juan del Sur. He was, like, I think the first or second member of the jury. He played too strong, I felt like. I feel like he was a big threat because everyone's like, oh my god, we don't need to go to the end with him. He'll beat us and stuff. So they had to get rid of him quick. But it's like a chance. He had a huge alliance. And it was basically him against Kelly Wentworth's alliance and stuff. And I thought he really deserved the $1 million. He had a very heartwarming speech about his wife and then being pregnant and stuff. He basically swept all the votes and stuff because basically who he went to the end with was a Boley, Spencer, and Tasha, who did nothing. So basically he took the right people to the final 3. And honestly, he was a great competitor. He was a very good strategist and just an all-around amazing player. Go Jeremy.
I couldn't agree more. And number 2, and we get to top 2, man. But number 2 means, as when you already mentioned, that is Poverty Seller from Survivor Micronesia. And in terms of female competitor, she's definitely my favorite female competitor of all time. I fucking love Poverty. I liked her pretty much every season she was on. Took on not too much, but Micronesia is when she really truly shined. And she's, like you could said, she's a manipulator. She got a line snap far, and she fits Eric to give up immunity, which everyone says the dumbest move ever. I mean, but and also Survivor, she's all freaking gorgeous. I mean, she's definitely gorgeous. I'm looking at that. But yeah, she's no physical threat. She's someone she's about what a villain should be on Survivor and how they should act and how they should play the game. And she really proved that. Micronesia, especially Micronesia, Ninja, especially for her secondness and always throwing the guys and then getting them out and all that. It's just so much fun, feels so much charm, and you can't help but love her, honestly, even though she's kind of a villain, honestly. But she's definitely the best ever white villain should be on Survivor, and you pretty much said playing, so I don't say about Poverty, she's awesome.
Yeah, I love Poverty. I don't know what your number 1 is, but I have a feeling I know who it is, and I have some stuff to say. I don't know who it is, though. But, I have a feeling I know, though. Number 2, I don't think you have this person on your list. Number 2 is Mike. Mike from Worlds Apart. No collars, blue collars, white collars. Mike is one of my favorite winners. He's probably the most likable winner. And Mike and Worlds Apart, I like to think of it as a tragedy of a season. And Mike is the savior of the season. It is a season full of evil, devious, disgusting, shitty players, and then there's Mike. I was watching that whole season, I'm like, if Mike doesn't win, this is the worst season I've ever watched. And he did win. He betrayed his alliance. It was him against like 8 people during the merge, and he put them all on the jury. He won 5 immunity challenges all in a row. He found an idol, played it perfectly, and the jury was so bitter, but luckily some jury members stuck to his side, and they really defended him. He played the best game. He was just such a lovable guy, such a lovable American, even though I'm Canadian, but he was great. He also had probably one of my favorite family visits with his mom, who had to help him with the challenge, and she felt like she failed him. It was super, super sad. He was hope. Because Worlds Apart just had such horrible players. I hated every player. He was the guiding hope of that season, and the fact that he won just made it all the more great. It was the best happy ending to any season ever. That's why he's one of my favorites.
I was getting mentioned, man, because Mike is my number 1. Yes, I mean, how can you not love Mike, honestly? Again, I wouldn't say World Pub was a tragedy, but I can't deny that World Pub was definitely a lackluster season, filled with kisses that were unlikable, and some of the most unlikable kisses you've ever seen. I mean, damn, fucking Rodney and Will, I mean, oh my god. But Mike, I agree that Mike is definitely the savior of this season, and he was pretty much him for his air contestant that he fought through. He won the mute chances when he needed to. He played the aisle perfectly. He's a very great underdog story, and he really proved that this season. I always liked Mike in the game, but later on, definitely he proved how great, likable. He's a very likable man. I would be sad if he didn't win, honestly. I was like if he said. Like you said, if he did win, this is probably the worst season ever, and I'm so glad. Like, I never felt so satisfied with someone winning. Even more the boss around part, that's saying something. Because Mike honestly deserved to win out of anybody, out of any freaking body that season. But the game, he played a great game, a great strategist. I agree with that loved one visit. That was very sad. He worked hard. He fought what he could, and all those reasons why Mike, for me, is my favorite winner of Survivor.
Okay, I love Mike. Love Mike so much. Number one for me, though, is I gotta go with an intellect. I gotta go with the smart player, and he was in your honorable mentions. I even say one of your honorable mentions is in my number one. This is, I consider, the smartest player to play Survivor, and I am surprised he's never came back. If he ever did come back, I really want to see him come back and maybe win again. It's Yul Kwan from Cook Islands. Is my favorite player. Yul Kwan, yeah, he is the best social game out of any player who's played the game, and he has some of the best strategies. The way he did the deal with Jonathan Penner to make him turn on his own alliance, just to put him on the jury just right after. Very smart plan. He basically made Ozzy the big target because Ozzy won all the competitions, and Yul did all the groundwork and basically he made people glad to get voted off. Like, he was so nice and kind to them. They're like, okay, yeah, I'll get voted off and go on the jury. That's just how great of a manipulator Yul Kwan was. He was a really statistical player. He used analysis and statistics to eliminate every single player, and it was a phenomenal strategy he had. And I just think he had the best social game and the best strategy out of any player to play the game. He was a super smart player. He was a physical threat too, but Ozzy was just too fucking... He was like a freak of nature, man. He always won every challenge, but Yul was a great player, and rightfully so won. And I always go for the smart players, then the physical players, and that's why he's my favorite player. Yeah, that was our top 10 favorite Survivor winners. Thank God. I was worried that Sam had Sandra on there. I think she's the most overrated player. But anyways, thanks Sammy for being on this video, talking about our favorite Survivor winners. Tell my audiences where they can find you.
And Barney, it's good that I can finally have someone I can talk to about Survivor, because I've been meaning to talk a little about Survivor, and good I have some people I can talk to about this show with. I've always been wanting to talk about the show, but you find me on my channel, stay more in the future. Again, I do a lot of similar stuff that Jay does, movie reviews, TV reviews. I do King's Show music, video game stuff, and I also do some top 10 lists. Like I actually did a list on my least favorite spy levels. Watch it now. I have another one coming this weekend. So you can find my channel, Sammy, one more reviews. Again, I do a lot of similar stuff Jay does, and again, thank you Jay for letting me on this list. You'll see us probably this season on Rotten or Fresh too. Let's see how awful we both do. But still, so yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, are you guys fans of Survivor? If so, what are your favorite Survivor winners? Are we both wrong? Are there better winners out there? Well, let us know. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.